Old man doing a podcast. Real weirdos. We have English degrees. Real weirdos. We talk about movies for way too goddamn long. And Jeff, you make sure your thingy is working?
Oh, my thingy works, buddy.
Good. And what about Audacity?
Everything in Audacity is working. My thingy's working.
Good.
We're all
Are you
working.
pumping it?
I mean, they don't make like an ED med for Audacity to work, but they made one for my thingy.
Bark, bark.
Velvet.
Dogs are barking right away because they know the podcast
they haven't barked
mics
for
are
like
hot.
the last 20 minutes we're sitting here talking.
Yep.
They know as soon as we press record.
Yep.
Seriously.
They're like fucking assholes, dude. They're the worst. Like, I love them, but they're the worst.
So you saw a movie today, Jeff?
I did. I saw the first film that I have seen. I guess we can't really say post-pandemic, but
Since it all began.
yes, since it all began in the long, long ago.
In the long, long ago, indeed. Fuck's sake. My
yes.
Lord.
So I went to
What was this glorious movie you came back
theater,
to?
and I saw the new Venom film, Venom Die Hard with a Vengeance, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Let There Be Carnage.
Yes, whatever stupid.
What a movie to go back to for the theaters. I'm considering doing James Bond, but
Well, James Bond would have been better. Well, I didn't see this movie out of my own morbid curiosity. I don't torture myself like that. I took my young nephew to go see it. He was huge. He was a huge Spider-Man fan until this movie.
Which doesn't have Spider-Man
Every
in it.
dumb, fucking disgusting, dribbly, pedantic, derivative piece of crap that fell out of this movie, he just gobbled.
Oh,
it
wow.
up. Because that's
So you really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I loved it because that's what
Yeah.
this movie is made for. Is his young demographic.
So it wasn't made for you.
No, it's not made for people like me. And it's not made for like fucking pedantic, like pessimistic, I don't know, full of themselves film nerds, I guess.
I mean, we are here to talk about The Mummy, though, which is like none of those things.
We're gonna get to like me just like kicking the shit out of you for like talking shit about the Mummy.
Hey, all I'm saying is that's not like a pedantic film nerd movie. That's all I'm saying at this point.
All right, okay, you're right. Okay,
I'm saying
I'm
like
sensitive
a fun
about
adventure
the Mummy.
movie.
Okay, I'm sensitive. I have feelings about this movie.
Well, it might be me kicking you then in a minute.
Fine. Well, yeah. So I mean, we're not here to talk about Venom. So long story short, it sucks dick. Don't watch it. Don't watch any. Stop giving money to these. If I wasn't taking my nephew out, I would have rather given my money to anything else. I would have rather let a bird make his nest out of it. I would have rather used it to wipe my ass. I would have rather used it to snort. I don't even.
Well, now
know.
you're going in a good direction.
I just stop giving money to Marvel. Stop giving money to Disney. Stop giving money to this fucking brain rot garbage.
Wait, isn't The Mummy a Disney movie?
No.
Oh.
Is it not?
Is it?
Wait a minute. It has to be. This is like the most Disney movie I've ever seen.
Is it?
Hold on.
I mean,
wait. It's got to be Universal, right?
I'm
they have the
notoriously
rights.
wrong. So
They have the rights to like, because this is loosely based on the old Mummy. They're like dredging it up.
Oh, I did not know that.
So yeah, it's Universal.
Yeah, it's Universal.
My bad.
Yeah.
But come on, tell me you can't see this as an animated Disney movie, The Mummy, the 1999 Brendan Fraser Mummy.
I don't know what you're like talking about.
It feels like a Disney movie. It has all those elements. It has that tone. It has the music. It has that adventuresome nature.
It
has
feels
the,
more like
the
a
jokes.
National Treasure type
We're getting
movie.
into
National Treasure.
Let's
that works
do it.
too.
Hey, it is. I didn't think I'd have to say this early, but it is like the most entertaining of the Indiana Jones movies. It's basically an Indiana Jones movie.
You think it's better than Indiana Jones?
No, I'm just saying it feels like an Indiana Jones movie. And I'm not saying it's the best. It's just
I mean, if this
extremely
was the Crystal,
entertaining.
I mean, I'd rather watch The Mummy than Crystal Skull.
100%.
Yes, I will give you that. I'll definitely give you that.
But that's not saying much.
It's not, because that movie is fucking horrifyingly bad.
But you're
so
right,
I think
Jesse.
you guys,
You're definitely
like, you
right.
guys have a bigger relationship to this movie than I do. I know I saw it when I was a kid, and I probably saw it once or twice in the intervening 22 years, but I couldn't remember it. I remembered moments going back to it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, but it's not like I don't know. It was weird to me that you wanted to talk about it while I was watching it. I was like, why? And like, my guess was that you have a lot of like nostalgia built into this movie. Is that correct?
I can't speak for Alex, but yes,
Yes.
definitely for me. But I don't think that that's 100% why I like this movie so much. I think it's a good. I would say it's a good 75. But I do think that there's aspects to this movie that are well done and fun, and I think that it just suffers from some pretty huge, like, potholes. Not plot holes, but potholes that just create kind of a... Well, it's the question that I want to ask you guys. Is this a great B movie or a shitty, like, feature film?
It's a great summer blockbuster.
I think it is a totally digestible, standard summer action movie. I think I was pretty bored by the end of just like the jokes that didn't make me laugh and the big loud effects, and I was like, it's okay. It's yeah, I don't know. I was like pretty lukewarm about it.
Did you like... Okay.
It felt very, very generic to me.
Okay. Did you like the, like, build-up kind of them, like, of her being, like, a researcher and, like, looking at a map and, like... It is very basic.
So I'm in two minds about it, because there is something heartwarming about that structure where it's
Okay,
like I'm watching a movie,
Yeah.
Like when we talked about Waterworld, I was like, this is the moviest movie I've ever movied. Until I watched The Mummy again, and I was like, this is such a movie.
Yeah.
It's like made out of popcorn. It's like they burned popcorn and somehow made that into film to make this film.
They
I
like
don't know.
they took like the carbon from the smoke of the popcorn and then like
Yeah.
pressurized it, and not quite a diamond came out, but kind of another version of charcoal came out.
It is like, yeah, it is like the popcorn cinema. I don't know. And I think that there's like a value to that. I do like that kind of thing sometimes. Like I would draw a parallel to Pirates of the Caribbean around the same time, which is just, it's a total movie.
I'd say it's
there
a
are
little higher
things-
quality than The Mummy.
Yeah, than The Mummy. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But there are things like in this wheelhouse that I really hate. Like, we all hate Independence Day. Well, Jeff and I do. Alex loves it. And it has that same kind of feel where it's like, this is like, it has all these elements. It has this structure. It's like the boilerplate kind of summer blockbuster feeling to it. But it doesn't make me angry like Independence Day. It was just, I don't know. It was all right.
Well, me and Alex didn't have much time to like nerd out over this movie, because the second we both realized that we like it so much, we were like, oh, let's do like a little, let's talk about it,
Yeah,
Let's do an
go for
episode
it.
on it. So I'm curious, Alex, like what ties you to this movie? What connects you to it? Because I kind of mentioned it to you guys briefly before, but I'm curious about what ties you to this movie so much.
Oh, I mean, it's 100% what Jesse just said. It's a nostalgic, just, like, movie that... It was like the movie that we would put on as a family if we were all going to watch a movie. Or if it was all, like, on TV, everyone in the family would stop what they were doing and slowly drift towards the couch and just end up finishing the movie right there. So, yeah, I don't know. And I also think...
And it came out at the perfect time, too, because we were all like 10 to 12 years old. We're perfect audience for this.
Yeah. Another thing as well, every single person I've talked to, they have seen the movie and they love it. And there's always like a reaction that I get out of someone when we start talking about this movie. It's a good conversation starter, I guess. And I feel like it holds up. Just for me, at least. But
Oh, yeah,
that might be
100%.
because I watch it so much. I don't know.
How often do you guys watch it?
At least 3 or
Is it
4
like
times.
once a year?
At least 3 or 4 times a year. Easy.
Yeah, I probably
Holy shit!
I'd probably say I see it about twice a year.
God damn.
It's just like easy brain massaging. That's like
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
background. I mean, when you've seen it this many times, it's background noise. Like I watched it for the podcast. Like usually I'll watch a movie and I'll sit there with my notebook and I'll really take notes and I'll diagnose and digest all the
Oh,
scenes.
I was not doing that with this
On
movie.
this movie, I was cleaning my house and I just turned it up really loud.
And your
it's-
brain like can just fill in the images.
Exactly, because I've
Yeah.
seen it so many times that I know all the scenes. Like I was like saying lines in Egyptian, like I was saying like the lines that they were saying in the beginning, and I would so I would watch this movie with my grandma a lot. Like me and her, like when I was like 10 years old, around then, I would watch this movie with her, and she was like a French Italian immigrant, and her English was okay, and she would like read the subtitles out loud. So like to me, like she was always all the characters that like spoke Egyptian was like my grandma's voice. So it's like it's got like these weird little ties to it and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think the movie's adorable. I think that's something I would
Yes.
definitely attach to this movie. It's adorable. Every fight scene is like, oh, that was a well choreographed fight scene. I would call this movie a monster movie more than it is like an action movie. I would definitely say this is like a quintessential like monster movie.
It feels like a haunted house movie to me. It feels like,
Really?
and I don't think you guys have seen these, but there's like a lot of these a lot of these old movies with like Bob Hope in them from like the 30s and 40s, where he'd like go into a haunted house, and it's like there's all the like the fake walls, and there's a monster in there somewhere, and all that felt like I was getting flashbacks to those when I watched this, especially when there was the casual racism in this movie.
Yes.
I was chuckling.
Yes,
It's like,
we can't-
oh, the fat Arab guy. Let's see how racist we can make this.
But it's great because they
archetype.
definitely conscripted all of the actors who are famous for those roles. Like that guy has played that character in every movie he's ever been in.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, I would love. Like I'm trying to find him on IMDb, but I couldn't find him.
let's research this.
Yeah, I couldn't find him in the.
I looked at the cast, and besides Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser, I was like, I don't know who these people are.
Oh no, you definitely know a few more of these people. Yes, most of these actors are like they did really well. I
don't know their names.
One of them is
you
in
know?
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I think a lot of these actors
Brendan
actually did
Fraser?
really well, and just kind of most of them just didn't go anywhere. I think that's really the biggest thing. But yeah,
It's the dude who lies about being his Daniel
Benny.
Plainview's brother is
Yep.
Benny in this.
that's Benny in this. Yep,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
and then
yeah.
the guy who
could
plays
see
the,
that.
the pilot who like goes down, like wants to go down in glory. I've seen him in other like things. Bernard Fox.
Oh, I love that
The
plot line.
older guy?
They set this guy up in like a scene, and then the next scene they give him his character arc.
Yeah, it's great.
It was
It's just
amazingly
like a 1-2
lazy.
punch.
So
They're
yeah.
like, no, you set that guy up earlier in the movie.
Yeah, I
Come
found
on.
him. Yeah, like this actor, like he plays like this role in a lot of. He was in Gladiator.
So-
He was in Mamma Mia.
Oh yeah, he was in Gladiator, wasn't he?
I wanna
He's the
make-
slave trader.
I want to make a point really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it is generic, right, Jesse? It's like fucking just run of the mill, just movie. However, I feel like because the attempt is so like polished and so smooth and just so watchable, and the fact that it grossed $400+ million on an 80 budget,
Oh, it was huge.
I think that it's like successful. It's like all around a successful project, and I don't just mean like financially. So think of movies like the Dungeon Siege movie that we did.
Yeah, definitely.
That movie set out to do something maybe similar in trying to
Way bigger.
cash in on like a trend, but they couldn't even pull off the most generic movie possible because it was just that terrible, right?
It was that bad.
Yeah. But the people who
I
put
love
this
that.
movie,
I love that Jeff was so angry with that, but now we have this as a point of comparison for anything else on the podcast.
Well, that's what you
great.
need. Yeah, you got to have that. You got to have your comparison points. I mean, I hated Ricky
Sorry,
Owens.
Alex.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
We definitely have the close to the 0 on the graph now, though. It feels
Yeah,
like a
in
chart.
a couple different ways.
Yeah.
Eric Avari. You've seen him in a lot of other movies, for sure, Jesse.
Yeah, I'm looking at his picture.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's been in a ton of movies.
Wait.
It's like he's one of those.
Oded Fair, too. He's in Deuce Bigelow. He's in the first one. He's like the
Oh, of
gigolo.
course, my favorite
Yeah,
film.
you know Rob Schneider.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, you know me. That tracks, right? I love Rob Schneider comedies.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is. That's where I've
that's
seen it.
Jesse incarnate.
Yeah.
I, don't know, I think every actor who is in this movie, besides like the typecast, like typical Americans who are just like these kind of like goofy cowboys, I think all of the main characters played their roles very well. Like Imhotep, like that guy, like you never see him in anything else. Arnold Vosloo, but I
Are you
think
speaking to Alex's point about this being like a solid movie?
yes,
And also a solid movie that had like a big like impact.
yeah, I'm just
not just financially, but like I was saying, or like we were saying, like, dude, everyone our age loves this movie.
Yeah.
Even like I'll listen to podcasts that have nothing to do with movies, like casually bring up how much they love The Mummy. And so I don't know. There are certain scenes where I did get that little tickle, but I don't know. Like maybe because I haven't seen it very often in the intervening years, I'm more critical of it. And it's weird to say too, and it's an interesting point because like Jeff and I, when we were talking off air a little while ago, we were talking about James Bond and how you hadn't seen any of the new James Bond movies because they are in your brain as like kind of like the schlocky Pierce Brosnan ones. And I was like, I like those. Like there's a part of my brain that does like silly, inconsequential entertainment. And it's hard to say exactly why something has the impact on you that it does. Like I will defend the worst James Bond movies because I think they're like hilarious. Like I love it when it's bad, you know, or and I'm not saying the Mummy is, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of popcorn entertainment, it's interesting what, like, gets the pass from you and what doesn't. This is kind of in the middle. And I think it probably does tie back to just how that nostalgia gene works, because that's with, like, me and James Bond. You know what I mean?
yeah. If I didn't have any connection to The Mummy, and I'm sure Alex can agree, and I watched it just as kind of an adult that hadn't maybe seen it once before, I would be like, okay, this is like a cute kind of, you know, stupid like Hollywood video type movie, and that's fine. And definitely, and I agree that is a component to it that's driving my love for this movie, is the connection that I have. But the point that I think we're both trying to make is that if you strip away the nostalgia, this movie still, in my opinion, sits stronger than a National Treasure or any other movie of its like. Yes, it may be a popcorn film. Yes, it may be this and that and such another. But I think it's the best version of all of those things. It's funny to me when it needs to be. Everyone acts their ass off, I feel, and does a really fun job and cares enough to make it fun. There's a great amount of history, I think, for like a digestible Hollywood Universal Pictures film. There's actually kind of like they try to like kind of crowbar in a little bit of actual history here and there, even though they take a lot of shit for granted and embellish on a lot more than they tell. It's fun enough to where it can be considered in a higher category than I think maybe even you're putting it, or even most people would put it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not only did it make a lot of money at the box office, but it is like the year that it came out, it along with The Matrix, it was the best-selling like at-home video purchase. People didn't want to just see this movie; they wanted to like own it because it's.
I think I have it on DVD. Actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
on VHS.
I'd have to look.
like I bet everyone does. Like in thousands of years, civilizations from are gonna like be digging through the
They're
dirt.
like digging up
Yeah.
copies of the
Yeah.
Mummy in all these
Be
old
like,
houses. Like, what
fuck
was this?
is this?
What is this primitive technology? This artwork shows up again and again.
They're gonna find one giant trove of Nuki tapes.
Oh, that'll be somewhere. Hey, that's a
Deep cut.
that's a reference out there for someone.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I agree. I think this movie is something that just appeals to so many people, and also Rachel Weisz, like, she went on to do Constantine, which is another kind of movie I really love that a lot of people don't.
I don't remember that movie.
Oh,
at
I
all.
like it
It's
too.
on HBO Max. I just watched it.
It's another popcorn movie.
Another thing to point out here is like, holy shit, Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
like
What happened,
his
bro?
peak right here. This was the zenith.
Yeah.
Baby.
Well, I
He
You're
was
like, this
top.
guy's poised to take over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was his big shining moment to Hollywood to be like, this is the type of actor I'm. I mean, in all fairness to his acting career, I mean, he still did Tarzan, he did Encino Man, like he's done roles. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No, keep going.
No, I mean, he's done roles. I mean, yeah, throw in other roles out if you remember them. Like I'm
The
sure-
Mummy
Blast
2,
from the
The
Past.
Mummy 3,
Blast from the Past. Yeah.
the movie The Mummy 4.
He was
No, he was
Maybe?
only in the first three.
he was also
Okay.
I mean we were talking about
Gods
this.
and Monsters with Ian McKellen.
Oh yeah, he was in that. Fuck. That
Yeah,
was one
that's
of
like
his,
him actually
yeah.
acting instead of doing like his Chris Pratt role or vice versa. You know what I mean? His action man
Exactly.
hero role. This is like
He was in Crash, apparently.
Oh God, yeah, he was in Crash. But which is, by the way, I want to put on record my vote for the worst Best Picture winner of all time, and it's worse than that. It's one of the worst movies ever made. Anyways,
I love it.
I need to see this just so I can have a like. I'm really.
I've never
interested.
seen it.
I know
It's
I've seen
fucking
it. I remember Matt Dillon like has a dad who can't pee.
I love the shit you remember in movies. Sorry, not
Yeah.
Tarzan. George of the Jungle. I
Oh,
always
yeah,
say
George of the
Tarzan.
Jungle.
It was George of the Jungle. Same fucking
Same
character.
movie.
It's literally George of the Jungle is Tarzan, but like they couldn't get Disney's rights to it or something.
no. Totally different movies because
Totally different.
in Tarzan, the
Yeah.
white man, excuse me, the Western colonies comes to his jungle. In George of the Jungle, he comes to our territory.
Oh shit! So it's
Yeah,
Encino
Jeff.
Man in the jungle.
exactly.
then.
It's just Encino Man, but he's Tarzan.
I mean, so like yes, but you're right, Jesse. I mean, to bring it back to your point, he was very much poised to be this type of actor, this popcorn munching Hollywood Chris Pratt type, doing all the garbage Jurassic Park movies and just getting that bag, but
Yeah.
just pockets fucking lumpy. But it's just. But the
So didn't he like start to call people out for like abusing him and then he got canceled or something?
I definitely think that the divorce was the first thing. I mean, I'm not.
See, I don't know
sure-
anything about
Yeah,
this.
I mean, again, we're not experts on Brendan Fraser. I only know like the tidbits that kind of bleed down through the internet. So obviously, I'm gonna get some shit wrong. But if you Google what happened to Brendan Fraser, I'm sure you're going to
Okay.
get many
Yeah.
detailed articles. So do your own research.
Well, we won't dwell too much on that then.
But I mean,
nobody here's an
essentially
expert.
essentially there was some abuse that went on in Hollywood.
Can you
to
imagine?
him. I know.
That's
Can you
so
imagine?
fucking strange.
I know somebody like abusing another person
One of
in
those
Hollywood.
In
rare,
Hollywood.
rare occasions.
That's where they have that sign. We have cartoons versions of ourselves in front of that sign. Okay,
Oh,
there can be no abuse in this land.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, and then he got a nasty divorce. So he's one of those people that is a victim of the vacuous wasteland of just Lovecraftian horror that is Hollywood. And he was just another victim that got chewed up and spit out, and I think was just a little too sweet for this world. But he's very loved.
The glamour.
But apparently,
Yeah.
Very, very loved
Apparently.
by the internet, and he's slated now. I mean, apparently he's making a comeback. Like
Exactly.
he's slated to do some
Scorsese.
pretty big movies. Yes, he's in the Scorsese movie, in Doom Patrol.
They should do a remake of The Mummy, not the Tom Cruise one, but this one, and just have Brendan Fraser play himself, but just be like 60 or however old he is. That'd be great.
Oh, he's not 60.
They're already
That's-
making another Indiana
50?
Jones. So
Listen, I'm getting old too, man. Shit happens. I'm turning 34 in 2 days.
Oh,
I still don't know what I'm
everyone-
doing on this
everyone
earth.
who's listening that's like above the age of 40 is like, click. Like this fucking kid.
Whatever.
Oh, man. Yeah, no.
They're getting old too. We're all getting old.
I mean, this is just, I think that's also another tie to it as an adult is that I believe, Brendan Fraser got a bad rap, and this is a movie that you can see he really cares about his roles, no matter what they are, how silly they are, how just like goofy and cheesy his characters are. He still like puts his heart into it. And I mean, I think Rick O'Connell is funny and dashing, and I think he's like everything you want in like an action hero.
He plays it well. He plays his Indiana Jones version very well.
Oh, he's got the same outfit.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
it's like they did a good job. The people who came up with and wrote the movie that I see was based on like a 1932 one, but still.
Yeah, it's like the Universal monster catalog. They have all those things. That's what they tried to do, I think, bringing it back with the Tom Cruise one. I didn't see that big piece of crap.
No.
I kind of want to just to hate watch it.
I think
but-
everyone who loves The Mummy dearly didn't even bother buying a ticket. I think
but,
everyone
like,
who bought
it's
a
always
ticket
like,
to
who
that
cares?
movie.
It's The Mummy. Like, whatever.
Yeah, like why
know.
remake it? Even though like I love this movie, like why remake it?
Dude, they were Universal was trying to do the most hilarious thing when everyone was like deciding they were gonna do the Marvel, like make their own cinematic universe.
They're just
They were
scrambling.
like, they're gonna do a Universal one with like Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man and like there was something I don't know if like that I Frankenstein movie was part of it. I think it might have been with
I never saw that, yeah.
Aaron Eckhart. Like, I don't know. It's just hilariously dumb idea. It's like the Universal monsters. Dredge them back in 2022 to fight crime.
The Invisible
like a series
Man.
of movies.
The like
I do.
It's like, what the fuck are you
Monster from
doing?
the
You just
Black
want
Lagoon.
money. You're like trying to find, like, use the properties you have in any way.
damn.
Any fucking way.
Oh,
I don't know.
Man.
I wish it would happen. Because it's got to be so bad. It's hilarious.
But that's
right?
the thing is like no, because we don't need any more of those type of bad.
We don't need
movies.
anything. We don't need nothing. Just whatever. Unleash the floodgates.
Unleash the hounds. Jesse's
Let
just
the torrent. Let the floodgates open. Let the torrent of sludge just consume us all.
oh my
Whatever.
God.
Let's talk about the Mummy.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not a movie that requires that much. There's no depth or analysis
Well,
to go into.
here's a
There's some
question.
light Orientalism here and there.
There is.
Light.
That's just fucking
Well,
silly.
like, what do you think about the effects? Do you think the effects hold up?
Sorry, thank you for bringing that back. So, not the CGI. The CGI is very much 1999 CGI. I definitely think it's better than the Matrix CGI and other things.
It's better
of the like
than
that were coming
the
out.
sequels as well.
Oh, for sure.
Which is
man, that
notoriously
Oh,
bad.
what are you talking about?
Let's talk about the CGI Dwayne Johnson.
When he's the Scorpion King. It's like legendary,
Yeah,
right? That's like
yes.
the example of bad
Oh,
CGI
it's so
they use
bad.
in.
I mean, he
I'm
looks
pretty
like he's
sure
made
at
out of
Berkeley
modeling clay.
in a film class, which I had on computer graphics. I won't go into it. Digitization. He used that as an example
sure.
of like the worst.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. But props in this movie, I do think, were really great. I think all the props, the books of life and death, the golden black book, the key, the way it opened up when you spun it, all the sarcophagi and the scarabs and all the little like Egyptian props and artifacts, the canoptic jars. I don't know. That stuff I think was done beautifully.
yeah, I think so too. I think the whole world that they built, as far as set design and everything, was awesome. Like the boat scenes and everything.
Yeah, the boat scene. That's a super famous scene in the movie. I didn't like realize that, but like that's one that I always like when I talk to people, everyone always references that scene, the boat scene, when all like the Americans are like, yeah, and they're like fucking shooting.
Oh my
like I
God.
loved that
Yeah.
shit. It was so
It's
good.
so good.
Yeah, I like the props too. I like the sets, and it's different. I don't know. Something happens in my brain with certain movies where I'm watching it and I'm like, "That's a movie set." And I'm like, those are movie props. And sometimes that's distracting and sometimes it's endearing. And for this movie, it's really endearing. Like I remember watching, I think it was like Warcraft or definitely In the Name of the King
Yeah.
for sure. Where it's like, those are movie props and that's really distracting.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Whereas with this movie, I was like, oh, that's nice. And they are good. Like, I do like it. I like the production design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels very sandy.
Yeah, and I was kind of talking to a friend of mine, Hannah, who I play D&D with, and she was talking about how the character of Evelyn, Rachel Weisz's character, was very much like an inspiration for her as a young girl, because she's very much today, she's a teacher and she's obsessed with like archaeology and history, and this character of Evelyn was somebody that she really looked up to as a young girl, like as an example. And now they did play hard into the damsel in distress. They literally call her a damsel in distress in the movie. But then I think they realize that because they lean a little too hard the other way for the second movie, which we're not going to get too much into for the sake of time and energy.
I'm good.
No, I think
I have no
I
idea.
think Evelyn, though, like from the beginning, you can tell that she's very strong-willed, opinionated, and
Definitely.
educated. The biggest thing is that,
Yeah,
like,
but she definitely has a little bit of...
she keeps getting rejected for being basically a woman.
Yeah, there's a lot of like...
They're like, look at those guys over there. They're being led by a
Yeah.
woman.
I know,
What
so
do
on the nose.
women know?
So on the nose. But then it's funny because they very much like pro woman, hype up the woman, but at the same time it's like just very, like I mentioned before, just like very blatant Orientalism, very like blatant like over dramaticism. Ugh, I hate that phrase. Very blatant over dramatic effects to like
There you go.
mysticize Egyptian culture. I mean, you know, we already do that with like our video games, like Assassin's Creed Origins and everything, but it's just interesting to see it back in 1999 when it's like, ooh, look how mystical the Egyptians were. They wrapped their dead people
Yeah.
in bandages.
What's that line in like the Aladdin song? Like, it's cruel and barbaric, but it's home.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
It's
shit like that.
Yeah, it's definitely like a little bit
There's
of
some
those
echoes
vibes.
of that in here as
Yes.
well. Like we mentioned the casual racism.
Yeah, he's
and
like,
that.
don't put me down for mummification. Like that kind of stuff. Like where it's like, dude, how do you not know what mummies are? Like I love how like kind of dumb for a guy who's like knows the path to ancient Egyptian tombs and
Right.
cities that you can only see in a mirage and everything like that. He's like, what's a mummy? What's
Right.
mummification?
So
What do these
conveniently
mirrors do?
audience surrogate that just doesn't fall into like the mythology of the world they've created.
Yeah, he's a William Riker. Like he's like that's what he is. He's supposed to be there like, so you're telling me that the mummies are, and then it's like, yes, audience. I
So
am
you're telling
you
me that we're in Egypt. Like, yeah, you
Yeah.
let us here.
that. The opening, the hanging scene is also really, really funny and great. I've always remembered that scene when I think of this movie.
He almost died.
I've heard of that. I definitely heard of that fact.
I read like a couple factoids. I didn't go too deep because whatever. But I did read that.
I think I listened to that in that interview I was talking about off air about like the interview. I think IMDb interviewed him and a few other places interviewed him, and he mentioned that like he just like said something like he like just remembered the floor going out from under him, and then he just woke up in the hospital.
I can't believe they actually did that for real. That wasn't like. It seems very dangerous to actually
it
hang
is
somebody
dangerous.
for movies.
I mean,
I don't know what the setup was.
Yeah, I
but
mean, if it could have been like
he's like maybe it was him. He's like, I do my own stunts. Okay.
Well, Brendan Fraser did his own stunts. I think for certain aspects, I think he definitely encouraged. No, I don't think he Tom Cruised it. You know, I don't think anyone does that.
No, Tom Cruise is on another level in many
Hey,
ways.
Jackie Chan's there.
Yeah,
Jackie Chan's there.
But Jackie
Yeah,
Chan's
that's
the
for
king
sure.
and is also not Tom Cruise. So there's that. Like, he's got that going.
You
for
didn't
him.
hear about Jackie Chan joining Scientology?
No, I didn't. I thought you were about to say Jackie Chan got canceled, and I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like,
No.
in not in the sense
No.
of like, oh, shut the fuck up, girl. Like, no, like just shut up. Like, don't say anything.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah, but there's some weird. I lost my train of thought. But anyway, go on.
We're talking about Brendan Fraser doing his own stunts.
Oh yes, thank you. Yeah, so there's an aspect of that. I definitely don't think he did all his own stunts, but maybe there was like a rush. They were rushed for filming or shooting that day, and so they were like,
So
all right,
they
just go,
decide
go, go.
to actually hang him.
No,
I'm just curious, like, why actually hang him?
No, I think that they had like something underneath that he was supposed to like land on, and it broke or wasn't there or fell over.
Or some fucking intern just
I mean,
forgot to put it there.
Clearly
that
something
morning.
went wrong.
Yeah. I don't think they were just like, all right,
they're
hang
just
him
like,
again,
okay.
take 3, hang him again, take 4.
Like your neck feeling okay over there, Brendan?
Like, no, I don't
You
think
all
that's how
right?
the movie was shot. I don't think they did it like guerrilla
Steven
style.
Sommers just like, we need another take.
They shot it in an actual Egyptian prison. Like,
Yeah.
those weren't extras. They were
Kubrick.
just like, they just thought that this guy was immortal.
Is this Steven Sommers' best film by a tremendous amount? By the way,
I looked.
because
went
okay,
back. All right, let's see.
Jungle Book, Deep Rising, the first 2 Mummy movies, Van Helsing, which is a giant piece of crap, G.I. Joe: Rise of the Cobra,
Wait,
Yeah, I would
and
probably,
then Odd Thomas,
He
which
did
I
all the
have
sc-
not seen.
he did all the Scorpion King movies too.
He did not.
Oh,
This
he's
is
produced
director.
them,
Jungle
sorry.
Book, but it wasn't the
I just
animated
can't
one.
navigate IMDb. Love
No.
it.
Yeah, you have to like make sure you're on the director page.
Catch Me If You Can.
That's not the one you're
Yeah,
thinking
that's
of.
not the
okay.
catch.
This is 1989.
Have you seen
I was like,
the
is this like a
poster?
version of that? Like, what is going on?
Have you seen the poster for this movie?
Yeah, look at
Yeah,
the
I
poster.
just looked at it now.
That
yes.
is not Leo.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, what? That movie wasn't in '89.
It's something that looks way more 80s.
Oh boy, what's this direct? The Adventures of Huck Finn. What is that?
I remember that movie, and then I also remember Tom and Huck, because that goddamn Jonathan Taylor Thomas
This
is in it.
Elijah Wood.
Goddamn Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Oh, he's already.
What are you talking about?
He's got another movie slated right now. When Worlds Collide.
What we need is a movie about Wilson, but it's like a really depressing drama.
Wait, like from
the
Castaway?
volleyball from Castaway.
No, from Tool Time.
Oh,
The
like-
neighbor.
TT. There we
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yeah.
Like he like tried to kill himself with a shotgun and blew the bottom half of his jaw. off, and
Yeah,
that's why you
something
never
like
see,
that. And
the
it's
bottom
like
half of
it
his
has the
face.
it's like this. Yeah, it's like this really depressing house drama of like a recluse, like or shut in. But it has these moments of levity when he goes out and interacts with Tim Toolman Taylor.
But you don't
He's just
see that
butt-ass
at all in
naked.
the show. Like all
You
half.
just see it. You just see it. It's like you place the camera inside the house, and you see it like it. You look through a screen door, like a sliding glass door, and you see Wilson just looking over the fence for a little while and like talking, and that's it. And then he comes back in and resumes his like terrible existence.
Camera is focused on an armchair that he sits in with just this look of just pain and misery and death on his half face, which is all like gone from his
God.
shotgun wound.
Okay,
And then
I'm with you.
It's just like
Jesus.
he just gets up and goes outside, and then the camera doesn't move. It just stays on that just decrepit, just falling apart armchair.
And you hear Tim Allen,
and
in the
you just
vague
hear him
distance.
in muffled and like, and then it just like, and then it just ends.
You hear a little,
and then it just comes back in, and then he just like shuts the door. It's just quiet, no music, and then he just sits back down in the armchair and just resumes that same face. That would
and then
be
the movie continues with its
the
tone.
all-time black comedy of. I would watch that movie on repeat.
Christ. See, and you didn't like Paris, Texas. That's basically what that movie is.
Yeah, if that was Paris, Texas, it would be my favorite movie.
I actually had that thought last night when I was watching this. I was like, Jeff didn't like Paris, Texas, but he loves The Mummy. And I just like shook my head. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I also remembered this conversation I had with you when I was talking about James Bond and we were talking about like just brain candy movies. And I was like, you don't have those? And you were like, not really. And then I watched this at your behest. And I was like, sure, Jeff.
I definitely have brain candy movies for sure. I don't know. I have like a nostalgia attached to them. I don't acknowledge them as, well, I'm acknowledging this. Okay, you know what? suck.
I think we referred. I think we
you.
referred to a movie that we reviewed a while ago as Brain Candy.
I
Jeff
do that
brought
with like
up.
everything. It's
Which
like my
one?
catchphrase.
Which one was that? We've done like 22 of these now.
I don't remember, but it's somewhere back
Somewhere. One of
Usually,
them.
I
One of
usually
them
use it
movie
to
films.
reference like Marvel movies or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, The Mummy, man, it's good. If you had an attachment to it, it's good. I'd watch it over anything of its like, for sure. Absolutely. Like, and like it's like more like this on IMDb. Like Hellboy, yeah. Underworld, yeah.
Hellboy's good.
Would I watch this over Blade? Ooh, that's hard.
Yes.
Blade's good, especially the first one.
It is, but I just don't. I don't feel like I could watch Blade that many times, as many times as I watched this movie.
But I don't think I've seen any
not as
movie. I
jovial.
don't think I've seen any movie as much as Jeff has seen this. Maybe Dead Alive. Oh, by the way, that's a point to make. We did tease Dead Alive. We started to record it, and we had some problems with it. That's all I'm going to say. And we just decided, because we got fairly far into it before we recognized the problems, so that we'll just do it later. Let it be fresh. So we will get to Dead Alive. It just won't be quite yet.
Yeah, and I'm excited to do it because it was a hell of a movie, and I want to talk about it.
That is a movie. We'll
It's
talk
another
about
great
it. We'll talk about it when we talk about
It's
it.
another great reference to have too. Like just like with In the Name of the King, like it's just like a type of movie where you need to have as a reference to
It's
other
like-
great B movies.
It's like establishing like walls, you know? Like that's a wall. Like that like you can encompass cinema within all these different walls, or in the Name of the King's case, I guess a floor. Like it's a pretty low bar.
Yeah.
But you know what I
Yes.
mean? It helps define the space. There are movies that do that, and so bringing them into the conversation is a good way of, I don't know, establishing that. Which The Mummy is too, I guess. It's like if you want to like make a case for it being like how to do a big dumb summer action movie right, I think you're like on the right track there.
Yeah,
I do.
definitely.
Yeah. It's like the good version of Independence Day.
Oh, I have something to say about that. Would you rather watch Independence Day or The Mummy?
We could talk about Independence
The
Day too,
Mummy.
because we're never going to do an episode on it.
The-
That's totally
Mummy,
fine.
easy.
Easily The Mummy.
Yeah,
All right. I then you're forgiven. I mean that you at
but
least you
that's
get-
only because I have Independence Day on my DVR. So
Jesus.
I'm already forgiven, dude. You said it.
We forgave you long ago. People love Independence Day. It will never cease to boggle my mind, but it's true.
Yep,
It's
it
true.
is true.
Yeah, I mean, Will Smith was huge for a little while.
He was. I think I dislike Will Smith because of that movie, if I'm being honest.
Really, not
It's
Wild
just
Wild West.
so fucking annoying. Maybe that I don't remember that movie.
You know that he was in an interview recently, and he said that he hates Wild Wild West.
Oh, of
He
course.
was like, "Oh yeah, I fucking hate that."
I can't
movie."
imagine. Isn't he
Well, what
like?
about
Is he a
Men in
weirdo
Black?
Scientologist too?
No,
He's just an
Will Smith?
interesting guy. Yeah,
No,
he's
Will
just
Smith,
a
no.
weirdo.
No, he's just like he was in like the only like weird shit I've ever heard with him was that shit recently where he was in like an kind of like an open relationship with his wife or something, and then like
And she was sleeping with her
yeah
son's friend.
yeah something like that, and like she came out and said it like on a television show, and so that's where
Live,
like that
yeah.
meme came from of him looking all like crushed live on television. Yeah, that's like the only thing that I know him from is like I know drama from him from his memes.
Sorry, Will.
Sorry, Will. Don't keep
You
up on
know,
your career, bro.
We know you're
Yeah,
listening.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I guess there's some rumors out there that they're Scientologists. I don't give
Like,
a
who
fuck.
cares?
I don't give
It
a
would
fuck.
make sense, honestly.
I remember when he tried to make his son into a movie star, and that was hilarious because that kid was fucking terrible.
Well, then he became like a really
Jada.
shitty rapper.
Oh
Jada
yeah, he
is
made his
all-
daughter
yeah.
sing a song about having sex when she was like 12 years old or something.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus.
That was weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
celebrities
whips her
are
hair
fucking
back and
weird,
forth.
dude. Like, just go
Yeah.
watch like Matthew McConaughey on Instagram. Like that's all you got to do.
Oh, how weird is that?
Like, just
how
go through
uncanny
his-
valley.
Yeah, like go through Matthew McConaughey's Instagram and just like watch his videos and be like, dude, Hollywood fucks you up, bro. Like, that's all you have to say when you watch that. It's like, oh shit, Hollywood's like serious shit.
Why is he a weirdo?
Dude, his
I haven't watched-
Instagram videos, especially his early ones, like I think he's got it now. Like he's understood, like kind of, okay, don't be like a serial killer. But his early Instagram videos, because he joined pretty late. Same with Johnny Depp's are just bonkers. Like talking.
Did
to
Johnny
himself.
Depp put out some bonkers ones too?
Johnny Depp, I could see that.
Johnny
easy.
Depp's first Instagram video is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen on the internet. It's like, not because like of the way you think, it's just like, for a man who's done all these years of acting and career, it just all the stuff that he's done and understanding of framing, everything about this video is like somebody who has never recorded a video on their phone before. Like it's just,
dude. I mean,
but it's just far away. Like it's nothing like technological. Like, oh, it's like when your parents like can't see themselves on FaceTime. No, it's just like it's set up from really far away, and he's got like these weird candles burning, and he just does this like slow monologue for 9 minutes.
Dude, can you imagine what it's like, what it must be like to be Johnny Depp?
So the thing
Like-
is, though, is that along with all of those years of acting was heavy drug use,
True.
Mhm.
drinking, debauchery.
Oh, dude, he partied with Hunter Thompson.
Getting abused by his girlfriend.
He and
John
Thompson
Cusack.
disappeared. Oh yeah, I want to talk about that. I
Obligatory
want Johnny
fuck
Depp.
Amber Heard, by the way. Let's just,
Yeah.
Let's make sure we say that on the podcast every once in a while.
Seriously though, like I want Johnny Depp to make a comeback. I fucking love Johnny Depp. Amber Heard, let's call her Amber Turd, as she deserves.
Oh wow! I mean, I hate it.
No, that's the thing, because like in a deposition or whatever. By the way, if people are not aware of this story, Johnny Depp kind of got canceled because Amber Heard, who's his wife, put these allegations on him that he was an abuser. Turns out not true. She was the abuser, and yet she's still in movies, and Johnny Depp isn't, which is like nonsense. But yeah, back to Amber Turd. As like some kind of thing she was doing, she took a shit on his bed.
Great.
And so
Nice.
he called her
Nice.
Amber Turd.
Great.
That's his. He coined that phrase, not me. But I think we got to spread the word in our tiny way.
Gotta
Is
spread the turd.
Fuck
Spread
Amber
the
Heard.
word.
Yeah, no. I think we just got to make sure we say that every like 5 or 6 podcast episodes.
I'm down. Just a
she's
little
outta
like
here.
reminder PSA. Just by the way, fuck Amber Heard.
Yeah. No, she's a piece of garbage. Again, another representation of just Hollywood and all of the toxic bullshit.
And
that
she's not even a good actress.
well, no, it's not that. It's that like he's a very vulnerable, like
He's a wino.
high-ranking actor who is susceptible to drug addiction and is a drug addict, which is a disease. And instead of being there and supporting, she took advantage of it and like filmed him. I mean, we don't need to go into it, but just like the pictures and films of him like strung out on coke. It's like, no, dude, you don't like put that shit out there.
Yeah, well, Johnny Depp needs to get back in the game. Give him let him straighten himself
Go to
out.
rehab, yeah.
Go to rehab, but then enter that old like phase of the career where you become like, I don't know. Do you know what I
He
mean?
needs to have
Like there's
fun.
like phase 3.
Johnny Depp. He needs to have fun.
It's like get into that De Niro phase 3 where you're like the
Hey,
fucking
call
Godfather
Nicolas
on
Cage.
screen. You know,
Call Nick Cage. And be
Yeah.
like, dude.
Nick Cage is doing it.
No, if Johnny
let's-
Depp got
let's get
clean,
into something.
he could like own every like beat movie. Like any movie that's about beats or beat culture.
Or just weirdos, dude. Any old weirdo. Like,
I don't know. I think he would
I
be
don't know.
like in a
Even
great
if he
phase.
doesn't want to, I'm saying break away from the weirdo, like I wear bracelets and things in my hair phase. Like, just go away for a little while, come back and have fun in acting. Go back to the basics and be like, why was I an actor in the first place? Was it to play Captain Jack Sparrow or some variation of him for the rest of my life? No.
man, he was famous so young though. and he was so famous, so young.
Yeah.
That
Dude,
it's like that must just be
what was his like first
billion
huge movie
lifetimes ago.
before?
Crybaby, like John Waters.
Crybaby.
Yeah, like
And then
before,
right after
like,
that, he
yeah.
got into Tim Burton. Right after that.
Oh yeah, Edward
And then
Scissorhands.
Gilbert Grape.
So yeah, he was like
What's
fucking
Eating
20
Gilbert
when
Grape?
he
But
was.
Gilbert Grape's not a good movie. That's the thing. It's a bad movie with just with like two ultra stars in their youngest parts of their career. That's what
I can't remember it.
I don't know.
I
haven't seen it in a
remember
long time
liking
either,
it.
but I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's a cute
I'm not
movie.
gonna say one way or the other.
It's
on
like
that
a
one.
90s cute nostalgic movie.
Oh, like
It's
what we've
interesting
been
to
talking
see
about
the-
this whole time.
The combo of young Leo and young Depp as well.
I mean, you just didn't. I mean, could they have known what they had in that one movie?
I know.
He was in that movie Benny and June, which is
Yeah, I think
cool.
Edward Scissorhands was like my first exposure to him as a kid. I believe that was like. The
I
first
liked that
one.
movie when I was super young. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of him when I was in like high school. Probably a lot of people were
Yeah.
though, because that was like the era too.
Yeah,
He
just
was in like From Hell and
Yeah, but that's the thing is like
Sleepy
he was,
Hollow and
Like he had that early mod style, like when it was like coming over from Britain, like the precursor to goth, like that mod style, and it got co-opted by a lot of people, like emo culture and everything. And it's like that's kind of what was happening when I was in high school. It was just like, oh no, dude. It's
well, his last biggest movie, or his last like real movie, I guess. He was let's see, I'll just read you the tag thing.
Was he
War
Tonto?
photographer Eugene Smith travels back to Japan where he documents the devastating effect of mercury poisoning in coastal communities.
oh,
And he just plays like a photographer in a real movie. It's like
sounds interesting.
I'll watch it. I've been meaning to watch it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, just I hope he comes back. I just don't understand. I just don't understand how she's out there and he's not, but I don't know. I give up.
I was thinking about this this conversation reminds me of something I was thinking about the other day, where I really hope that Gene Hackman can come out of retirement before he unfortunately passes away.
Didn't he
And-
die a while ago?
No, don't
Really?
say that.
Gene Wilder died a while ago. No.
Gene Hackman.
So-
Okay, no, you're right.
So did
He's
Sean Connery. So
he
did
must
Sean
be.
Connery.
He's going on 100.
He's 91.
Well,
so.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
would
what do you
just
want him
like-
to do?
Do you want him to play
I just want
Superman?
him to be in like a one role or something.
Can you
like
imagine
that.
if like he took over Henry Cavill as this is the Superman? I'd watch the shit out of that. That'd be amazing.
as Superman?
No, it's like old. No, that'd be you could do that though, like for real. You
Old
like
Superman?
Old Superman, like
No, I don't want him. I don't want him near any of that.
yeah, he could be like this. Like,
Superhero
yeah, he could be
shit.
just like he could be like the ultra future, where it's like the crazy future. You know what I mean? Where it's just like everything's wild, and he's just like this old Superman that's just like can't really like fight anymore. It's, like,
It'll be
old.
that scene. It'll be like in the new Blade Runner 2049 when Ryan
God.
has to go find Harrison Ford. And it'll just be like, we have to go find Superman. He's the only one who could do this. But he's like in his Fortress of Solitude. He's been in there for like a century or more. You just go in there and it's like a depressed old Gene Hackman, but he's like wearing the Superman threads.
Listening to Sinatra.
Oh my god!
Give me that movie. Come on, Hollywood. Jump
Like, why
on
don't
it.
we just write movies? Like everything would be so.
We
much
should.
successful.
I mean, I've told you guys my Spider-Man idea too, which is a $1 million idea.
Oh, you just got to pitch it, man. Write the script.
Yeah.
90
I mean,
pages. that's
have
all you
I
need.
pitched that one on the podcast?
I don't know if on the podcast.
Not on the podcast. So my idea for a Spider-Man movie, this will be quick.
Here we go.
It's just you treat it as a Spider-Man movie, like it's within the rules of the universe and everything, but you just have Nicolas Cage as Peter Parker. But nobody acknowledges that it's Nicolas Cage or that he's old. So it's just him like going to high school, like being a quippy young man, but it's just Nick Cage. He's like, "Oh, Aunt May, I want pancakes," or whatever.
Yeah, because that's
Oh
what
my
the Spider-Man
God.
movies are about.
I don't know. I saw the first one.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I don't
God.
know. Nicolas Cage is Peter Parker. Boom, make it happen.
Could you imagine trying to shoot Nicolas Cage at this age, hanging upside down, making out with the lead actress in the film?
I
don't want
want
to.
it to happen. Yes. I want to envision all Spider-Man scenes with Nicolas Cage as Peter Parker.
I mean, write the script, man.
Because, like, he doesn't even have to do stunts, really. You just have the CGI suit anyway these days.
Can't he just be old Spider-Man?
Oh, the same way that Gene Hackman would be old
Jesus
Superman?
Christ.
We'll just start. Let's just like create a studio and just create the old superhero
old
universe,
versions.
and
See,
we
no,
just
this
create all
sounds
these
like
like
a TV show where they all live at a retirement home together.
could be like a multicam sitcom. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh, my God. Well, who else would be in there? We got Gene Hackman as Superman.
Batman, Bruce Wayne,
Nicolas
for
Cage.
sure.
Yeah, but who's going to
Dig
play
up
him?
the corpse of
Robert Pattinson.
No,
is
we dig
the
up.
See,
the
I think
corpse
it should
of,
be Ian
It's got to be
McKellen.
old people. So
Ian
it's gotta be all
McKellen as Batman.
No, it's got to be all the old actors who used to play these characters.
Well, that's the problem. Is like, if you have to fill up a whole retirement home, like,
Well, you don't have to fill up a whole retirement home. Those are extras. You just have
You
to have
get
like 4 or 5
Caesar
main-
Romero back to play the Joker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you dig up the corpse of fucking Adam West.
Oh, you just literally dig up the corpse.
Yeah, you literally
Okay.
dig up the corpse of Adam West.
I'm not
and
sure
just
about
dress
this idea anymore. I like just casting people.
I was
It's
thinking
like
more
Nicolas
of like,
Cage has nothing to do with Spider-Man.
That's what, oh, that's true. I was
He has
thinking
more to do with Superman.
That's
He was
true.
almost Superman.
I was thinking more just like each movie is individual, and it's just about like each one is just like nothing. It's not a Marvel movie. It's still backed by Marvel and has all the Marvel money, but it's just like these just depressing, bleak,
Yeah.
black comedies.
That's why I
about, like-
loved Logan, because Logan was like a miserable Western. You know?
Yeah, Logan was legitimately really good.
Yeah, that's a fantastic movie. It's my favorite superhero movie because it's not
by
one.
far.
You know?
It's probably
Like,
Logan.
I
and
don't,
then
you guys
Deadpool.
know I like those movies, but like I like my Logans way more.
Oh yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Wait,
Well-
would you put Deadpool above Nolan's Batman?
No. Okay. I recently rewatched Batman Begins. I don't think that one is super good. I think it has good stuff in it, and you can see him honing in on what makes it good, but the action is terrible. It's some of the worst filmed action and like edited action I've seen in quite some time. I wrote about this actually when I was writing about James Bond, because I compared it to that and the Bourne movies, which are similar, like similar style with the action. But yeah, I mean, Dark Knight is fantastic, and so is Dark Knight Rises in a different way. But I don't know, you know, it's a very different animal than Deadpool. It depends on what you're looking for.
I'd still watch Deadpool.
I never saw
over those.
I never saw Deadpool.
What?
Oh, they're fun. They're fun movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
Dude, they're
not
really fun. Like they're really
Not
good.
interested.
And that's Jeff saying that.
Like that's like
And
they're-
he won't watch any of these.
like
so.
I no, like legitimately. I think the Deadpool movies
reason-
like the
here,
first, the
I'll
both are
tell you
really
why.
good. Tell me
The
why.
reason that I never really got into Deadpool was because like right after it came out, I started seeing these little patches on people's backpack or like
God,
little
here we go.
shirts or little stickers or things that were like,
So you're
oh,
too
yeah,
cool.
like Deadpool is like, this is like my Deadpool is like the superhero that like gets me. I would hear people say that all the time. Like, oh, Deadpool is like my type of superhero.
Dude, in order to
just-
enjoy anything, you have to ignore the idiots. That's
Yeah,
just
I had
part
to,
of life.
but it turned me off at the time so much that I was just like, you know what, I can't fucking do this movie right
Dude,
now.
I like Star Trek, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I like
Like,
old Star Trek.
I know
I've
what I'm
never
saying.
seen
You
the
know what I'm
newer
saying though. It's like Star Trek has the most disgustingly gross, unwashed fan base. Like if you're gonna
Yeah,
judge
but they stay
something-
together. They stay together
And
in
indoors.
their own like little enclaves.
But they don't-
of society.
yeah, they don't transcend into like
this was
like
just like everywhere.
the girls in your
Everyone was-
class, you know.
Exactly. Like
That's fair.
everyone was like, "Oh, my favorite superhero is Deadpool. Oh, my favorite superhero is Deadpool." It's like, "Oh, we're all different because
you're
we
in your
all like the
30s,
different
We
stuff."
are
Yeah,
miserable
favorite
bastards. So like we have grown up feeling this way about things, what like that we like, and then other people decide to like them, and like a mass exodus towards the thing we like, and we're like, oh, fuck that. But see, the thing is, like, to point to Jeff, what Jeff was about to say, which I think is maybe the same thing as I'm saying, like, Dude, we're in our 30s now. Just like whatever.
Well, to me, it's like it's funny the concept of a bunch of people in a high level collegiate class such as Berkeley talking about who their favorite superhero is. It's like, are you 5?
Dude, honestly, pretty much. Most people there looked like children to me.
Like,
you know,
my favorite superhero
They
is
are
Thor
a
because
younger
Mjolnir's
generation.
really
It's like-
cool. And
dude, it's 19-year-olds.
it's like, dude, that's how my
live
that's
in a
how,
very
how-
different
That's how
world.
my 10-year-old nephew talked when we walked out of Venom today. He was like, "So, do you think that like Venom is this Carnage's father because he said that he was his son?" And I'm like, "I don't know, buddy." Like that's like the same energy.
You should have been like, no, it's his aunt, and then come up with a reason. Just mess with
Just
him.
lie to children for fun.
No, it's not lying.
I
It's
think-
just messing with them.
I think lying
Just
to
twisting the
children
lore
might
of their
be-
favorite like the
might
IPs.
be
Go ahead.
like America's pastime. Honestly,
Okay, well, yeah, that's true. I mean, if,
Lying
What's
to
America's
children is-
pastime? Lying to
Lying to
children.
yeah.
if he's
I mean,
got
it's
you
just
leave
what
it to
you do.
Alex to really put the lemon on the tongue of the,
Yeah.
of the conversation. Like,
Well, we
oh,
can
yeah.
talk about China too. You want to go there?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh God.
well,
Wait,
movie
let's not
recommendations.
get banned. We love China.
Jesus.
We edit our movies for China.
Do we have recommendations, boys?
Recommendations: The Mummy Returns, starring Dwayne Johnson.
Um,
What have I watched? I started watching Game of Thrones, but we won't talk about that.
oh boy,
I'm
That's
but,
a
finally
recommendation.
watching it.
but we will, even
That's
though we
a
don't.
recommendation. I recommended Harry Potter once.
You did.
It's
It's
true.
true. I don't know if I recommend it or not, but the point is, it doesn't matter what I say about it because everyone's already seen it.
It matters to me.
You guys go first. Let me paw through my recent ratings on IMDb.
I don't know. I
Oh
watched
my god!
Constantine, and I'm rewatching Doctor Who. So there we go.
Which one?
I'm starting with the ninth Doctor, like Christopher Eccleston, and then on. I'm not watching like the originals.
Got it.
From like 1947.
No, no, I'm watching like 2004 on. But yeah, that's it. Constantine and Doctor Who, basically just shit that's on HBO Max. It's like the only streaming service I kept around because it has new releases, which matter for the podcast. Have you guys seen that Squid Game show?
No.
Oh God.
No, it's
What is it?
I've
it's
heard
some,
about it.
It's some show that's on Netflix. It's like the next it's like
I
the
heard
Bird
people are into it, but
It's like the Bird
a
Box
Korean-
thing, you know. It's
Oh,
like just
good.
taking
Battle
over the
Royale.
internet.
It looks like a Korean battle royale.
Yeah,
type
it's like
thing.
America's finally getting introduced.
I've been
to
thinking
this-
about Battle Royale lately, man. We're gonna have to do that at some point.
like the genre of Korean.
No, the movie.
No, the movie.
Oh,
The movie.
Battle Royale movie. Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like it seems like this movie, like Squid Game, is like general America's first introduction into like a long-standing genre of Korean battle royale type movies.
Okay. And that's like a new show? Interesting.
Yeah, it's a show.
Or is
Like
it-
Squid
it's a show.
Games.
It's Squid Games on Netflix.
Okay. So you're not recommending that. You're just acknowledging its
I'm just
existence.
acknowledging that it's a thing. I haven't seen. I don't have Netflix, so I
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, God. Why did I watch these things? I don't know why.
Because you're
Why
a
do I
fucking
do this to
weirdo
myself?
who just like hates yourself.
Well, that's true. That's
got anything, Alex?
Unfortunately true.
Yeah. I recommend it only because I feel like, I don't know, if you love movies, it's cool to watch a movie that is not really talked about from Steven Spielberg, which is called The Empire of the Sun.
Oh, that's a great one. Young Christian Bale.
You like that
Yeah.
movie?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. John Malkovich
Yeah.
being awesome.
I haven't
yeah,
seen
it's
it.
a great
Ben
movie.
Stiller.
Ben
He's in,
Stiller's
like,
in
a-
it? I can't remember
He's in a
that.
very small role.
Oh,
Thank God.
okay.
Like he does. It's not like, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like a war movie. It's like
so basically, it's about a British kid who lives in British China because it was a colony at one point. Certain areas of China. When it gets taken over by the Japanese during the outbreak of World War II. So the kid gets split up in this mass frenzy to try and evacuate the country. We haven't seen that recently on the news, right? And
God, Alex, jeez.
what?
You in the news. I don't know.
Me in the news in my Jeopardy. He gets split up from his parents and gets rounded up into basically like I can't say it's like a prisoner of war camp, but like they weren't combatants. I guess the Japanese took captives and they split them up based on nationality. So like the Americans had a section and the British had a section. But it's about the true story, I believe, of this kid's journey through the camps like by himself, and he's like a regular old Oliver Twist in this like prison camp. And he loves aviation. That's his big thing. Loves like the Japanese hero plane and whatnot. It's a 3-hour movie, but
It's pretty long.
it's good. And yeah,
good.
Christian Bale, you can see why. Like, he's so good. He's so good in it as just like I don't know how old he was, maybe 14.
Oh, if that, yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing actor. And it started off like, I don't know when he was not well trained, because this film he was like perfect.
Yeah, I've seen a number of his kids' movies. That one's definitely the best. Yeah, he was in like a Disney one called Newsies. That's for some reason I remember vaguely. He's in a one that was god awful called Swing Kids, I think it was. It's about like kids who were into swing music in Nazi Germany.
I remember that movie. Yep.
It was on like Roger Ebert's most hated list, which I thought was funny. He's like, he was like a huge opponent of this movie. He fucking hated it. And that's funny to me. I watched a horror movie called The Old Ways.
Ooh.
Let's see. I believe it's a Netflix movie. I think it's like a Netflix studio movie. Maybe not, but that's where I watched it. And it was all right. It was interesting. I think like the director could do something really interesting one day, and that's why I pointed out. But it's kind of like a exorcism kind of deal. Like a girl gets possessed, and it takes place in a very small location, and it's like in Mexico, and so you have like Mexican witchcraft themes, which is interesting. And there's also kind of themes of heroin addiction and like overcoming your past, and it tries to do a whole bunch of things kind of successfully and has a bunch of good imagery. I'm not going to say it's like a knock out of the park, but if you like horror and you're like looking for something to watch in that vein that's newer and kind of interesting, I would recommend The Old Ways.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
definitely
I also
check that
watched
out.
some terrible shit that I could talk about, but whatever.
I mean, I saw the Conjuring 2 for the first time.
Oh boy.
That one is fun. I like that. I don't think that movie's scary at all.
It wasn't
But
as bad
it's
as
fun.
some of the other. I think The Conjuring was actually pretty good.
The third one is terrible. The new one?
Is that the one that most recently came out?
Yeah,
Okay, I haven't seen that
yeah.
one. But The Conjuring 2 honestly wasn't too atrocious. But some of the movies in that series, like,
I put that movie in the same category as I put the new It movies, where it's just like like a monster movie carnival of just like images and like wacky shit happening. And like you just appreciate that it's well made on that level and like enjoy the, I don't know, the puppet show, I guess.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Spooky movies coming out.
Spooky movies. Well, yeah, that was us talking about The Mummy for a while. And then as we do, just talking about a bunch of other shit. That's what happens when it's like a movie that doesn't have so much meat that you want to talk about it for an hour and a half. Like I think with Funny Games, we talked about it for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
And talked about other shit. But I
Little
like it. I like that
jackass.
style too. But yeah, we'll let you go. And thank you everybody for listening. And we'll
Thanks for
see you
tuning
next
in.
time.
Have a good night.
Chicka chaka chapo. Now our podcast is done, and we have to run. We know it is sad, but we had so much fun. Don't be bereft, Jesse, Alex, and Jeff. We'll be back real soon. The Real Weirdos. We talk about movies for way too goddamn long. Bo 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 bo. Boo boo.